The insult that would birth one of the world's most legendary supercar brands echoed through the marble halls of Ferrari headquarters on a spring morning in 1963. Enzo Ferrari, the imperious founder of the prancing horse empire, looked down at Ferruccio Lamborghini with aristocratic contempt and delivered the words that would change automotive history forever. "The problem is not with the car, Lamborghini. The problem is that you are just a tractor farmer who doesn't understand sophisticated machinery." Ferruccio Lamborghini had driven his broken Ferrari 250 GT to Maranello seeking a simple repair for a faulty clutch that had failed after just 6,000 miles. Instead of receiving customer service from the company whose cars he had loyally purchased for years, he was publicly humiliated by the very man whose automotive genius he had long admired. "Stick to making tractors," Enzo continued with dismissive arrogance, turning his back on the successful industrialist who had built a farming equipment empire from nothing. "Leave the sophisticated engineering of real sports cars to people who understand what they're doing. Ferrari is not for farmers." But Enzo Ferrari had just made the most expensive mistake in automotive history. Ferruccio Lamborghini was not just any farmer. He was a mechanical genius whose tractor innovations had revolutionized Italian agriculture, a wealthy industrialist with unlimited resources, and most dangerously, a proud man whose honor had been publicly destroyed by someone he had considered a hero. "Fine," Ferruccio snarled as he left Ferrari headquarters for the last time. "If you think farmers can't build real sports cars, I'll show you exactly how wrong you are. I'll build a car so superior to your Ferraris that the whole world will see who really understands sophisticated engineering." What began as a customer complaint would become the most personal automotive rivalry in history, transforming a tractor manufacturer into Ferrari's greatest threat and creating supercars that would make Enzo Ferrari eat every word of his aristocratic contempt. If you love discovering how personal insults created automotive legends, please like this video and subscribe to The Car Chronicles. The Tractor King's Empire, 1949–1963. Ferruccio Lamborghini's journey to automotive immortality began in the ruins of post-war Italy, where his mechanical genius transformed him from a poor farmer's son into one of the country's wealthiest industrialists through innovations that revolutionized Italian agriculture. Born in 1916 to grape farmers in the Emilia-Romagna region, Ferruccio discovered his passion for mechanical engineering while maintaining the primitive farming equipment that his family could barely afford. His natural ability to repair and improve machinery made him legendary among local farmers who brought their broken equipment to the young Lamborghini for fixes that often worked better than the original designs. After serving as a mechanic in the Italian Air Force during World War II, Ferruccio recognized the enormous opportunity created by Italy's desperate need for modern farming equipment. In 1949, he founded Lamborghini Trattori with a revolutionary vision: build tractors using military surplus parts and innovative engineering that would make Italian agriculture efficient and profitable. Ferruccio understood that post-war Italy needed modern farming technology to feed its people and rebuild the economy, recalled engineer Gianpaolo Dallara. His tractors were not just machines. They were symbols of Italian ingenuity and determination to create a better future through superior engineering. Lamborghini's tractor innovations were genuinely revolutionary. He developed efficient diesel engines, reliable hydraulic systems, and ergonomic designs that made Italian farmers dramatically more productive while reducing the physical demands of agricultural work. By 1959, Lamborghini Trattori had become one of Europe's largest tractor manufacturers. Ferruccio's success with tractors generated enormous wealth that allowed him to indulge his passion for luxury automobiles. He purchased multiple Ferraris, Maseratis, and other exotic cars, becoming a respected member of Italy's automotive enthusiast community despite his agricultural background. However, Ferruccio's engineering mind couldn't ignore the mechanical deficiencies he observed in even the most expensive Italian sports cars. Ferrari and Maserati models suffered from reliability problems. poor build quality, and design compromises that Ferruccio believed could be solved through better engineering and manufacturing processes. Ferruccio bought Ferraris because he loved beautiful, powerful cars, but his engineer's brain was constantly analyzing how they could be improved, observed automotive journalist Pete Lyons. He understood that even the most prestigious manufacturers were making fundamental engineering mistakes that a competent mechanical engineer could easily correct. The fatal customer service experience, spring 1963. Ferruccio's transformation from Ferrari customer to Ferrari destroyer began with a routine mechanical problem that revealed the arrogance and contempt that Enzo Ferrari felt toward anyone he considered beneath his aristocratic status in Italian automotive society. The clutch failure in Ferruccio's Ferrari 250 GT was not unusual. Ferrari's clutches were notoriously unreliable and required frequent replacement, even in cars driven gently by wealthy enthusiasts who could afford proper maintenance and care. What was unusual was Ferruccio's decision to complain directly to Enzo Ferrari about the poor engineering and build quality that made expensive sports cars less reliable than the tractors he manufactured for farmers who demanded years of trouble-free operation. Ferruccio approached Enzo as one successful engineer to another, expecting a professional discussion about how Ferrari could improve their engineering and manufacturing quality, recalled Lamborghini factory manager Paolo Stanzani. Instead, he encountered the kind of aristocratic contempt that Enzo reserved for anyone who questioned his automotive genius or suggested improvements to Ferrari designs. Enzo Ferrari's response was immediate and devastating. Rather than addressing Ferruccio's legitimate engineering concerns, Enzo attacked his background, his competence, and his right to criticize Ferrari's engineering decisions based on his agricultural origins. "The problem is not with the car, Lamborghini. The problem is that you are just a tractor farmer who doesn't understand sophisticated machinery," Enzo declared with the kind of aristocratic arrogance that had made him legendary for insulting customers, employees, and competitors who dared question his engineering supremacy. The humiliation was made worse by the public nature of Enzo's contempt. Other Ferrari employees and customers witnessed the exchange, making Ferruccio's embarrassment complete and ensuring that news of his humiliation would spread throughout Italian automotive circles. "Stick to making tractors," Enzo continued, turning his back on Ferruccio with dismissive finality. "Leave the sophisticated engineering of real sports cars to people who understand what they're doing. Ferrari is not for farmers." But Enzo had fundamentally misjudged the man he was insulting. Ferruccio Lamborghini was not just another wealthy customer to be dismissed. He was an engineering genius with unlimited resources and the kind of wounded pride that could move mountains when properly motivated. The Declaration of War. May 1963. Ferruccio's response to Enzo's humiliation was swift and total. He would build a sports car so superior to Ferrari's offerings that the entire automotive world would recognize the Italian tractor manufacturer as a more competent engineer than the legendary founder of the prancing horse. The decision to enter the exotic car business was economically irrational and personally dangerous. Ferruccio had no experience manufacturing automobiles, no established dealer network, no racing heritage, and no reputation among sports car enthusiasts who valued tradition and prestige over pure engineering excellence. However, Ferruccio possessed advantages that Enzo had fatally underestimated: unlimited financial resources from his tractor empire, modern manufacturing facilities, and, most importantly, the mechanical genius that had revolutionized Italian agriculture through superior engineering and innovative design approaches. Ferruccio's decision to build cars was driven by wounded pride, but his success was made possible by genuine engineering superiority, explained automotive engineer Giotto Bizzarini. He understood that Ferrari's reputation was based more on mystique and racing success than on actual engineering excellence, and he believed that superior design and manufacturing could create better automobiles. Ferruccio's approach to automobile manufacturing was revolutionary in its systematic thoroughness. Rather than relying on tradition, intuition, or racing experience, he analyzed every component of sports car design and engineering to identify improvements that could be achieved through better materials, more precise manufacturing, and more sophisticated engineering analysis. The Lamborghini automobile project began with Ferruccio's recruitment of Italy's most talented automotive engineers, many of whom had been frustrated by the conservative, tradition-bound approaches that characterized established Italian manufacturers like Ferrari and Maserati. Gianpaolo Dallara, who had worked at Ferrari and Maserati, became Lamborghini's chief engineer. Paolo Stanzani joined as project manager. Most significantly, Giotto Bizzarini, the engineering genius behind Ferrari's most successful racing engines, agreed to design Lamborghini's first automotive power plant. Working for Ferruccio was completely different from Ferrari or Maserati, recalled Dallara. Ferruccio wanted the best possible engineering solutions regardless of cost or tradition. He gave us unlimited budgets and told us to build the most advanced sports car in the world. It was every engineer's dream opportunity. The Engineering Revolution, 1963-1964. Lamborghini's approach to sports car engineering was revolutionary in its rejection of the compromises and traditions that had defined Italian exotic car manufacturing for decades. While Ferrari relied on racing-derived designs that prioritized performance over comfort and reliability, Ferruccio demanded engineering that would make his cars superior in every measurable category. The Lamborghini 350 GT development program began with systematic analysis of Ferrari's weaknesses and engineering shortcomings. Every component was redesigned from scratch using the most advanced materials and manufacturing techniques available in 1963. Giotto Bizzarini's V12 engine design for the 350 GT was a masterpiece of automotive engineering that addressed every reliability and performance problem that plagued Ferrari's power plants. The Lamborghini engine featured superior metallurgy, more precise manufacturing tolerances, and innovative design solutions that eliminated the overheating, oil consumption, and mechanical failures that made Ferrari ownership expensive and frustrating. Bizzarini's V12 was everything that Ferrari engines were not, observed automotive journalist Roden Track. It was reliable, smooth, powerful, and beautifully engineered. Most importantly, it demonstrated that superior engineering could create better performance without the temperamental behavior that Ferrari owners had learned to accept as normal. The 350 GT chassis engineering was equally revolutionary. While Ferrari relied on traditional tube frame construction that was difficult to manufacture consistently, Lamborghini developed advanced manufacturing techniques that ensured every car met exact specifications for handling, comfort, and build quality. Lamborghini's interior design and build quality standards were unprecedented in Italian sports car manufacturing. While Ferrari interiors were notorious for poor craftsmanship and cheap materials, Ferruccio insisted on luxury appointments and manufacturing quality that matched the most expensive German and British automobiles. The development timeline for the 350 GT was impossibly aggressive. Ferruccio demanded a complete automobile ready for production within 18 months of beginning the project, a schedule that required revolutionary approaches to design and manufacturing that established Italian companies would never attempt. The 350 GT development was unlike anything that had ever been attempted in Italian automotive history, recalled Paolo Stanzani. We were essentially creating an entirely new automobile company with superior engineering, manufacturing, and quality control in less time than Ferrari took to develop new paint colors. October 1964. The 350 GT revelation. The public debut of the Lamborghini 350 GT at the 1964 Turin Motor Show was a seismic shock to the Italian automotive establishment that proved Ferruccio's engineering superiority while publicly humiliating Enzo Ferrari's dismissive contempt for the tractor farmer. The 350 GT's technical specifications were stunning, Bizzarini's V12 engine produced 320 horsepower with reliability and smoothness that Ferrari engines couldn't match. The car's acceleration, top speed, and handling capabilities were superior to comparable Ferrari models, while offering luxury and build quality that Italian exotic car manufacturers had never achieved. The 350 GT was a revelation that changed everything about Italian sports car manufacturing, reported Automobile magazine. This was not just another exotic car. This was proof that superior engineering could create automobiles that were faster, more reliable, and more luxurious than anything Ferrari had ever produced. The automotive press reaction was immediate and enthusiastic. Road tests consistently favored the 350 GT over comparable Ferrari models, praising Lamborghini's engineering excellence while criticizing Ferrari's outdated design approaches and poor manufacturing quality. More devastating to Ferrari was the 350 GT's pricing strategy. Ferruccio priced his superior automobile below comparable Ferrari models, proving that better engineering and manufacturing efficiency could deliver superior value along with superior performance. Customer response was immediate and overwhelming. Wealthy sports car enthusiasts who had endured years of Ferrari reliability problems and poor build quality rushed to purchase Lamborghinis that offered superior performance without the mechanical headaches that made Ferrari ownership expensive and frustrating. The 350 GT proved that Ferruccio had been right about Ferrari's engineering deficiencies, observed automotive historian Carl Ludwigsen. This was not just a successful new car. This was a systematic demonstration of how superior engineering could create better automobiles than Italy's most legendary manufacturer. Ferrari's response was predictable and telling. Rather than acknowledging Lamborghini's engineering achievements or addressing their own quality problems, Ferrari executives dismissed the 350 GT as a crude copy of Ferrari designs created by someone who didn't understand automotive tradition or racing heritage. However, the market verdict was clear and devastating to Ferrari's prestige. The 350 GT's superior performance, reliability, and value created immediate demand that Lamborghini struggled to satisfy while Ferrari dealers watched their most profitable customers defect to the former tractor manufacturer. Enzo Ferrari's personal humiliation, 1965. The ultimate humiliation of Enzo Ferrari came not through sales success or automotive press coverage, but through direct engineering comparison that proved Ferruccio's mechanical genius had created automobiles superior to Ferrari's best efforts in every measurable category. When automotive journalists began conducting head-to-head performance tests between the Lamborghini 350 GT and Ferrari's flagship models, the results were devastating to Ferrari's reputation for engineering excellence and performance leadership. The 350 GT consistently outperformed comparable Ferrari models in acceleration, top speed, handling, and, most embarrassingly for Enzo, long-term reliability. Lamborghini's superior engineering had created automobiles that were simply better than Ferrari's offerings in every objective measure. The performance comparisons were brutal for Ferrari, recalled automotive journalist Pete Lyons. The 350 GT was faster, more reliable, better built, and cheaper than Ferrari's best cars. Worse for Enzo, the engineering superiority was obvious to anyone who understood automotive technology. Even more humiliating was the reaction of Ferrari's own customers and employees. Wealthy enthusiasts began trading their unreliable Ferraris for dependable Lamborghinis, while Ferrari engineers privately acknowledged that Lamborghini had achieved engineering excellence that their own company couldn't match. Enzo's attempts to dismiss Lamborghini's success became increasingly desperate and unconvincing. His claims that racing heritage mattered more than engineering excellence rang hollow when Lamborghini street cars outperformed Ferrari's racing-derived models in every objective test. The most devastating blow came when several prominent Ferrari customers publicly praised Lamborghini's engineering while criticizing Ferrari's poor build quality and reliability. These were not anonymous automotive journalists. These were wealthy, influential enthusiasts whose opinions shaped the exotic car market. Enzo had spent decades building Ferrari's reputation on mystique and racing success, observed automotive historian Winston Goodfellow. But when someone actually built better cars using superior engineering, all of Ferrari's traditional advantages became irrelevant. Lamborghini had proven that engineering excellence trumped tradition and reputation. Ferruccio's response to his success was characteristically understated and professional. Rather than gloating about Ferrari's humiliation, he focused on continuous improvement and expanding production to meet demand from customers who wanted superior automobiles regardless of brand loyalty or tradition. However, privately, Ferruccio was deeply satisfied by the vindication of his engineering approach and the proof that Enzo Ferrari's contempt had been based on arrogance rather than actual knowledge of automotive engineering excellence. The automotive revolution continues. Lamborghini's success with the 350 GT was only the beginning of an automotive revolution that would establish the former tractor manufacturer as one of the world's premier supercar companies, while permanently damaging Ferrari's reputation for engineering leadership. The development of subsequent Lamborghini models, the 400 GT, Miura, Espada, and eventually the legendary Countach, continued demonstrating that systematic engineering excellence could consistently create automobiles superior to Ferrari's traditional approaches to sports car manufacturing. Each new Lamborghini model raised the standards for performance, reliability, and innovation, while forcing Ferrari and other established manufacturers to acknowledge that tradition and reputation were no longer sufficient to maintain market leadership in the rapidly evolving exotic car market. The Miura's introduction in 1966 was particularly devastating to Ferrari's prestige. Lamborghini's mid-engine supercar established new benchmarks for performance and design, while proving that innovative engineering could create automobiles that made Ferrari's traditional front-engine designs seem outdated and inferior. The Miura changed everything about exotic car design and engineering, explained automotive designer Marcello Gandini. It proved that Lamborghini wasn't just building better versions of traditional sports cars. They were inventing entirely new categories of automotive performance and sophistication. Ferrari's attempts to respond to Lamborghini's innovations were consistently late and inferior. The company that had once led automotive development found itself following Lamborghini's engineering and design leadership while struggling to match the reliability and build quality that Ferruccio had made standard in exotic car manufacturing. The transformation of the exotic car market was complete and permanent. Customers who had once accepted Ferrari's reliability problems and poor build quality as the price of owning legendary automobiles now demanded the engineering excellence and manufacturing quality that Lamborghini had proven possible. Modern legacy and recognition. The Lamborghini versus Ferrari rivalry represents one of the most successful revenge campaigns in business history, demonstrating how personal insults can motivate extraordinary achievements when backed by genuine competence and unlimited determination to prove superiority through superior products. From an engineering perspective, Ferruccio Lamborghini's systematic approach to automotive development revolutionized Italian sports car manufacturing, while establishing new standards for performance, reliability, and luxury that continue influencing exotic car development more than 60 years after the 350 GT's introduction. The business impact extended far beyond automotive manufacturing to influence Italian industrial culture and international perceptions of Italian engineering excellence. Lamborghini's success proved that superior products could overcome established brand loyalty and traditional market advantages through genuine technical superiority. Cultural significance of the tractor farmer's revenge transcended automotive enthusiasm to become a symbol of Italian entrepreneurial spirit, mechanical genius, and the democratic principle that superior engineering could triumph over aristocratic pretension and established privilege. Contemporary automotive development still reflects lessons learned from Lamborghini's challenge to Ferrari's dominance, particularly regarding the importance of systematic engineering approaches, manufacturing quality, and customer satisfaction in maintaining competitive advantage in sophisticated markets. The engineering innovations developed for Lamborghini automobiles influenced automotive technology broadly, with Lamborghini pioneered advances in engine design, chassis development, and manufacturing quality becoming industry standards that benefited automotive development throughout the exotic car market. The rivalry demonstrates how personal motivations can drive extraordinary business achievements when combined with genuine technical competence and adequate resources, creating results that exceed what purely rational business analysis might predict or conventional market wisdom would consider possible. The story reminds us that the greatest automotive achievements often emerge from wounded pride and competitive determination rather than just technical curiosity, and that personal insults can backfire spectacularly when directed at genuinely competent people with unlimited resources and determination to prove their superiority. If this story moved you, subscribe to the Car Chronicles and hit that like button. Share it with someone who needs to know that the greatest automotive legends are often born from personal revenge campaigns fought with engineering excellence, and that aristocratic arrogance can be permanently defeated by superior products created by genuinely superior minds. What's your favorite automotive revenge story? Let us know in the comments about other rivalries between manufacturers that created extraordinary technological advancement through competitive pride and wounded honor, transformed into engineering excellence.